comic book fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host as always, Cammy. Now unfortunately, although it was a big week for comics, we don't really have a pick of the week. We have a Fast Five this episode, so not to worry, there's going to be a pick of the week next week probably. And also, I got all this other shit I want to talk about. So moving on, let's get right into it. First up, we have from DC Comics, Battle for the Cowl, The Underground, #1. Now, this is another little one-shot for the Battle of the Cowl event, and it stars the Riddler as he's being hired by the Penguin to find out who this Black Mask is and to bring him forth so the Penguin can have his way with him, as it were. And meanwhile, Two-Face is going around the city causing more chaos and destruction because him and the Penguin are at war, and right now both of them don't want this Black Mask character screwing up the good thing that they both got going. So meanwhile, as Riddler runs into old friends like Harley and Ivy, we have Catwoman trying to defend Gotham as if it was just her alone protecting it. In this one night, she sees Black Mask, she goes up against Two-Face, and she even saves the Penguin's life. All to get her ass kicked at the end by this new Batman. So it was a fun one-shot. I really enjoyed seeing what the other characters are up to, and not just on the Bat family. So it was very fun. It's well worth your money if you want another Battle for the Cowl crossover. Next up from Marvel, we have Nova #24. Now this was a very action-packed War of Kings crossover. We had Robbie Ryder sitting behind a desk at the headquarters giving instructions to the Nova soldiers who are down trying to take care of the Shi'ar Empire who are trying to annex a Kree homeworld. So they go in, they kick the Shi'ar's ass pretty much until the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, led by Gladiator, shows up. And they just wipe the floor with all these newbies. All these Nova Corps, they have to surrender. And while Gladiator takes a Nova Prime for questioning / interrogation, he lets the rest of his guard do whatever the hell they want with the rest of the Nova Corps. And so they get slaughtered. Literally slaughtered, and Robbie feels so bad because he can't do anything about it. He's stuck behind this desk while he wants to go out and help and fight beyond the front lines. Cool War of Kings crossover, Abnett and Landing. How can you go wrong? It's a killer event. Next up from DC, we have Final Crisis, Legion of Three Worlds #4. Not to worry, people, just one issue left. And I know we're all over Final Crisis, but if it's Jeff Johns on a title like this, and it's so action-packed, and it's focusing on the Legion, who I do not care about whatsoever, and yet I'm getting excited for them, you know it's a good book. It's the Legions of Three Worlds versus Superman Prime, and his little army of recruits. They take the fight to the Fortress of Solitude up north, while the three Brainiacs are trying to resurrect their secret weapon. And we find out that they sent Starman on a mission way back in our time to dig up the body of Connor Kent so they could put it in a Kryptonian healing pod. And sure enough, the timer is about to go off. Ding! Superboy comes back to life and goes toe-to-toe with Superman Prime. So you got the return of Connor, of Kid Flash, and the Legion all going against Superman Prime. And we find out at the end that the whole Time Trapper is actually a really old Superman Prime. So at least we know what he's going to do when he retires. He's going to be the Time Trapper. Killer issue, jam-packed with action, and beautiful George Perez art. You should be picking this up without hesitation, people. Next up, from Dynamite Entertainment, we have Sherlock Holmes #1. Now, I know you're thinking, what the hell, what's Sherlock doing in this whole mix? Well, not to worry, comic books, as we all know, don't always have to focus on the superheroes. Sure, we might have more fun when they're doing that, but when something interesting and new comes along, like Dynamite's been trying to doing, resurrecting literary characters, Sherlock Holmes is what caught my eye. Basically, we follow Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson as they are trying to figure out who's behind this mad bombing spree that started. And apparently, the next victim is going to be the retired assistant commissioner. And so they go to his house, along with an entire squad, to make sure he's safe and well guarded. The retired assistant commissioner asks for Sherlock Holmes to come up and join him in conversation. Then we hear a bang! And everyone rushes upstairs, only to find Sherlock Holmes with the smoking gun. He says, I had no other choice, and they have to lock him up. What the hell? This is the first issue. They can't just lock away Sherlock Holmes. That puts a lot of pressure on Watson. How is he going to help his buddy out? It's really intriguing. It's something new. It's something different. And, you know, it's just the classic feel of a Sherlock Holmes story. I should know because I was forced to read a couple of the books when I was younger in school. So, you should be going out and picking up this book. Don't even question why. It's no shit, Sherlock. You should be picking this up. And finally this week from DC we have Green Lantern number 40. Now, last issue we found out that the Vega system is no longer off limits to lanterns. It's a free-for-all, and it's a big raid that's going to go on. Led by not only Hal Jordan, the green/blue lantern still, but the Guardians are actually coming off their perches to come down and see to it that Larfleeze, the leader of the Agent Orange Lanterns, not Agent Orange, but the Orange Lanterns, is put into protective Green Lantern custody because he has crossed the line, as it were, and so he must be dealt with. They've been putting it off for the longest time. Now they're going to get their little blue hands dirty. So they take away his whole forest, they destroy that, and say, you know, come out with your hands up. But Larfleeze isn't going without a fight, sends his Orange Lanterns up to attack, and we find out how the Orange Lanterns work. It seems that they'll devour you and steal your identity after they've eaten you. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You mean I used to be, you know, insert lantern color here, or just a person in general. They eat you, take your identity, and then you just join the ranks as a mine, 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 gimme, gimme, gimme. And some of the characters are very funny because, you know, they are all about them pretty much. And they have no other thing on their mind besides eating you up whole. So, very cool issue. We find Hal Jordan at the end facing Larfleeze, and Larfleeze is kind of jealous. He wants a blue ring. He goes, "Where'd you get that blue ring?" "I want it." So, it's Gollum versus Hal Jordan next issue. Tune in. The Blackest Night is just around the corner. Well, comic book fans, that does it for Cammy's Comic Corner this week. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, go to www.cammyscomic.com. From there, you can subscribe to us on the iTunes or RSS feed. And also, if you want any free comic books, go ahead and leave me a review on iTunes. And I'm sorry, this is just for U.S. residents only. After you're done leaving me your review, send me an email with your shipping address and your review that you put there, and I gladly send you a packet of comics. Also, earlier this week, just in time for Wolverine Origins movie, I put together little Weapon X episodes, and you can find that at the site or on the feeds. Basically, it's my favorite Wolverine origin story that everyone should read before they go out and see this movie. I'm going to be doing a review on the movie later this weekend, so not to worry, you'll get my input. Also, tomorrow, Saturday, May 2nd, is Free Comic Book Day, and The Blackest Night #0 is one of the comics that they're giving away for free. So, be sure to call up or just go visit your local comic book store and make sure they're participating so you can get your hands on free comics. Who doesn't like free comics? So, I just gave you two options to get free comics. Leave me a review, go to your comic book store tomorrow. Well, comic book fans, that does it this week. I hope you've all been enjoying your good health, and I hope the swine flu hasn't gotten to you, because I think we all know who to blame for this swine flu outbreak. Damn you, Peter Porker! Good night, folks.